Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Invisible War Blind. I was just about to get into this Queequeg shop, so let's do it.
How are you?
Hello. That right was started by the workers, not the order.
The workers, they just wanted production bonus. But now they get nothing because the Seeker sabotage has pushed them off schedule.
Panzerwerk's bonuses are an insult. The order is taking on the corrupt management on behalf of labor, hurting Nova, only damaging machines.
Seekers, or like sneakers.
A few extreme activists, that's all. Her Holiness came here to try to settle it peacefully, and Panzerwerk responds by erupting into riots.
If SSC would have shut down the order months ago, there would be no riot. And we would not be living under lockdown now. I have to live under curfew because a bunch of tree huggers will not leave the boat factory alone.
I heard that the summit has been delayed.
Panzerwerk has tolerated the Order's eco-terrorism for a long time.
I hope they can get the looting under control before they have to cancel the summit.
The Seekers sabotage Panzerwerk's machinery in order to hold production and allegedly protect the natural and environmental order.
The rioting is not going to solve anything.
The Order pulls one of their stunts, and what happens to the average Panzerwerk's tech? Lower pay, lower bonus, and no job security.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, I tend to agree with this point of view. It's not that I have anything about environmentalism in theory, but you have to...
I will have to stop by the gun shop.
You have to consider the sort of the human cost of actions like that.
I hope that Panzerwerk has not done something foolish.
I would be just as angry if it were my paycheck on the line every time the Order stages a protest.
I heard that the summit has been delayed.
Sure, Her Holiness comes to town now, but it is just a show. We need action, not more talk. I will be happy when the SSC finally realizes they just need to run those Seekers out of town.
Well, on the other hand, that doesn't seem like a good idea, and I disagree on the second point. You know, more action, less talking, because antagonizing the Order will also probably only bring more fighting. Yeah, I think we've read that. And it has actually perplexed me before because AI has been pretty well developed before the collapse, but as I mentioned, it might have not been public knowledge.
Must be private security for one of the factions.
Not exactly. Who wants to know?
Name's David Kurzek. These are dangerous times.
Is this a sales pitch? Why don't you get to the punchline?
I think we both know what we're talking about. I'm a representative of the Omar black market. I can arrange a meeting if you wish.
I didn't know the Omar employed non-cyborgs.
Normally I'm just a supplier, but with the summit happening, they need a rep who doesn't draw a lot of attention. Go to the abandoned Kuro shop above the Nine Worlds Tavern, a place called Derbalatenda Robin. I'll let the Omar know they should expect a customer.
Interesting, especially because this David Kurzetz, or Kurzetz, as it's pronounced in English, we've heard about him before, actually back in Seattle.
So you're Mr. Kurzek. I met your partner,
Yeah.
Mr. O'Rourke, in Seattle.
That's
He's not
right.
my partner anymore. We ran arms for a while, but then the Omar made a better offer.
I heard that the Omar put out a contract on him.
The Omar have a way of either absorbing or eliminating the competition. O'Rourke was dipping from the Emperor's well, or maybe I'd have brought him along. You're either on the team, or you're off the team. Know what I mean?
Sure.
The Omar moved into Trier a few months ago. I knew I had to adapt or get out of town. When the Omar set their eyes on a particular market, they don't leave you much choice. I'm a businessman. I know how to make tough decisions.
Well, let's check what's in here. like a backstage area. Well, damn it. Now it seems, because there's a greasel down there, so maybe I'll get a quest from the owner to get rid of it or something, and if I do, then I would probably get the key code also, which means I just wasted a multi-tool. Oh well. But now that the Omar has been mentioned again, it's actually like, even if they offer me like a biomod, at this point it really doesn't matter because I have literally nothing to do with it. So that's a little, you know, disappointing.
At least they haven't tried to suck out my brains and laminate my body with black latex. It's an uneasy partnership. I know that they'll dump me as soon as I'm not needed. I wonder how long the Omar will need the human race. I'm a businessman. I know how to make tough decisions.
Let's talk with NG.
Hi, I'm NG Resonance. Welcome, Alex D. Hey, you left New Cairo without seeing me perform.
Sorry, I had some business to take care of in Trier.
Just don't stand me up again. It's not very nice. So, you must be here for the summit.
In a manner of speaking.
Coy boy, what's the matter? Don't like talking politics?
There are some things I like to keep my own counsel about.
I'm actually surprised she didn't ask me to spy on anyone for her.
Let's hang out again sometime. I never get tired of talking to my fans.
Okay, let's talk to... Oh, wait, there's a... Of course, the famous book about coffee that's in every coffee shop in the game. Yeah, and this one as well.
I forgot her birthday.
Let's talk with the owner.
Hey, I'm looking for the Nine Worlds Tavern. Can you give me directions?
You are lost, my friend. The tavern's clear on the other side of town to the west.
Thanks. I suppose this summit meeting must be good for business.
It's a shameful distraction. A bunch of potentates whining and dining, plus they bring in their own coffee.
What about the press? The added security?
A big show to distract everyone from the fact that the system is broken. Both the Order and WTO. I filed a lawsuit under both jurisdictions, and all it's done is sit in a drawer somewhere.
Who are you suing?
Quods. They run ads on the public terminal right across the street from my shop, and they don't even have a branch in Trier.
Is that illegal?
It's false advertising if the product doesn't exist, right? I would very much like to see the file they have in the evidence room at the SSC station. The suit was dismissed, but they won't tell me why. Or what I'd pay to know what's really going on. What I really hate are the negative ads, where they say Queequeg exploits workers and has germs in its product. I tried to get corporate headquarters interested. What do you think happened? Show me an executive with backbone and I'll show you an Omar with a personality. I will take my case all the way to WTO High Command if I have to. What I really hate are the negative ads.
Okay, so apparently he didn't tell me anything about the greasel in the back here, which I guess at the very least makes that means that I didn't waste that multi-tool. But what he was talking about, I'm afraid he isn't really correct. Like, I don't think it's illegal to advertise your brand, even if you don't have a branch in a particular location, because obviously they can just be advertising the branch as, I mean not the branch but the brand as a, you know, global entity. You know, come check us out in some other city, but unless they are like purposefully misleading the citizens of Trier, but by making it appear that they have a shop in this city in particular and they don't, then I don't really think the Queequeg guy is right. But I do think I'm going to help him, like, if only because I've had such a good relationship with this branch in the other hubs, and they do seem more like an underdog to me compared to Queequeg, which is more like a you know, elite establishment. But I'm wondering, what is the greasel doing here? apart from killing me. Damn it. Okay. That was that was disappointing. I got stuck on the what's the word? Forgot the furniture. So be right back. Well, let's try again. Okay. What's that? Some kind of mold? There's a safe. But what's up with the mold? Apparently it's hazardous, but... Well, I think I might actually damage his business, because I think he purposefully bought it to sort of display it as an attraction. So that's not really nice of me to deprive him of his additional source of income. Not to mention breaking into his back room here. But I'm really sort of interested in what this mold is supposed to represent, because it's clearly hazardous, but I can't seem to get rid of it by attacking it. Yeah, I'm not going to break into the safe, because the chance of there being some information there is relatively slim, and as far as credits and other valuables go, I'm not going to steal from the guy. I've already hurt him enough by killing his Grizzle, so, you know, that's kind of rude of me.
What I really hate are the negative ads, where they say Queequeg's exploit.
Here's to hoping I will be able to make it up to him by finding this evidence from the SSC.
Hi.
Hello.
But before I do... Oh wait. Apparently I can go into the sewers here.
Don't think you'll find your Apostle Corps official out sightseeing at the Blackgate Ruins, which is where the sewer leads. Regardless, it would be a shame to lose you to a pack of sewer greasels.
Ah, that's interesting. But I'm not going to go in there yet. I want to explore the other parts of the town first. I am to meet the Omar somewhere close to here. I think he said above the tavern. Well, this here would be above the tavern, right? So I'm not quite sure.
Panzerworks finally reached their breaking point.
Klutz.
I'm just checking if there's any other place to go into before going into the tavern itself. Does the journal tell me where to? Upstairs from the Nine Worlds Tavern. But I guess that might be inside the tavern hub itself, so... You know what? While I'm here, might as well steal the evidence from SSC, and then on my way to the tavern, I'll actually go by Queequeg and give it to the guy. Okay. Was it downstairs? Would seem so. Yep. Okay. Damn it, 3 multi-tools, really? Isn't there a way to... Oh, there. I probably should have foreseen that. Well, be right back. Okay, so breaking the glass raises the alarm, so... Ah, because there's another camera... Wait. So this... Wait. Okay, I'm kind of confused because I guess the turret must be wired to the glass itself, I guess signified by those laser beams there, which means I do need to waste 3 multi-tools to get in there, which... is really kind of painful. Okay, I don't think I'm going to steal anything else apart from the evidence. Like, it's sad that at this point a biomod canister is literally worthless to me. It doesn't present me with any kind of, moral dilemma because I literally have no use for it. Okay, that's actually that's actually a really mind-blowing conclusion to the whole Pequod's versus Queequeg's rivalry, because judging from this, they are billing the same account, so and the client would like to make the transactions private. So judging from this, Pequod's and Queequeg's are actually both owned by the same company, which is sort of a brilliant conclusion, really. It very much fits into this cyberpunk world where you have those mega corporations who own so much subsidiaries that the regular worker doesn't even really know who are they working for. And it's also a brilliant marketing strategy, because you can build up this rivalry with the other chain, and you can employ ever more vicious attack ads, slandering your opponent both ways, and you can never get sued because both the companies are owned by the same parent company, but nobody knows that. And it's actually something that kind of happens in real world as well. Like, at this point, there are those giant companies in many sectors of the market. Like, for example, in the food market, you have those big companies like Nestle or you know, I don't think it's actually called Coca-Cola, the parent one, but maybe it is. What I want to say is, you know, that most of the like sweets, you know, chocolate bars and stuff, and most of the most popular sodas are actually owned by the same single company or two rival companies. Like, for example, Coca-Cola, Sprite, Fanta, and whatever. It's all one company, and the other is Pepsi, 7-Up, Mirinda, the sort of mirror products. So it's a lot less companies than you would think at first, because like the products are different, but they are actually all owned by the same sort of parent company. But I don't think many of the workers, you know, the entry-level workers in those fields really know about it or even particularly care. But it's really interesting, and I am actually very happy with the conclusion of this side quest. It's very cool. I didn't really expect that. So I guess it was kind of worth it. The three multi-tools. Although now I wonder how will the Queequeg's manager react to that, because it's actually quite a big news for, you know, a regular worker. I think I got lost again.
Can't believe they made me cut my hair.
Wanted to go in here.
How are you?
Hello?
I can tell you what happened to your lawsuit.
You can?
Quods and Queequegs are owned by the same people. It's one company. I saw the proof in the SSC evidence room.
I don't understand.
You're suing your own company, and the owners don't want the truth to come out in court.
You mean all of this, my business, the competition with Quads, it's all some sort of fabrication?
Well, it's not unusual for a company to promote more than one brand of a product.
Unbelievable. They've deceived millions, hundreds of millions of people. We can't let them get away with this. Thank you. You saved me the hassle of hiring any more lawyers. I hope you'll accept a small reward.
That's actually a very interesting dilemma, because on one hand I totally agree that it should probably be known, but on the other I definitely also agree that it's very dangerous, and it might end up you know, going badly for the guy, up to the point of him getting killed. So I don't really want to be responsible for his death, and I don't think it's worth it to throw away your life to expose what is basically, well, obviously it's kind of unethical, this scheme they have going, but in the end it's just, you know, coffee shop branches advertising. So I have this nasty feeling that if I encourage him to go public with the information, he might actually end up dead, and I would feel really bad about it. Yeah, I think I'll advise him to lay low. It isn't really worth it. If I had the opportunity, I would publish the information, but I am the game's protagonist, so there is really, like, I am entitled to success, as it were, in most of my endeavors, and if I die I can always reload a save, which isn't really a luxury any other characters have, so I don't think it's worth for him to take such a big risk. In the end he's going to do what he wants, but I'm not going to encourage him, because it seemed like a bad idea.
I wouldn't stick my neck out if I was you. These are powerful people.
No. How can I knowingly work for an illegal monopoly?
If the parent company is WTO chartered, it probably isn't illegal.
So I just keep working here like nothing happened.
You're just one man. It's not wise to start a war before you know your enemy.
Yeah, that's actually...
No wonder they fix prices at headquarters. They have a worldwide monopoly. I thought Queequeg stood for something. It's one thing to mislead the customer, but shop owners do. Next we will find out that the Order and WTO are branches of the same organization.
Okay, so... was that foreshadowing?
I guess it's all about casting the widest net.
Well, I guess there's one point I haven't considered before talking to the guy, because I didn't really think it was a worldwide monopoly. I only thought they are probably the most well-known coffee shop branches, but if they are really the only ones, then it's really much more of a big thing, because obviously if you have a worldwide monopoly, that's pretty much crazy. You can do everything you want and there is nothing anyone can do to stop you, but still, I think Alex was kind of right in what he said to the guy, that as a single person, especially, you know, a low-ranking member of the company, a regular worker, it isn't really wise for him to oppose such a big company, because it has pretty much unlimited resources, especially compared to him, and I think they could very easily get him killed, and nobody would ever know. So I just hope nothing bad comes out for the guy out of all this. But I'm very pleased with how this all of this Quods versus Queequeg rivalry has developed, and with the conclusion, I think it's one of the coolest side quests I've actually had in this game up to this point. So props for that. And now let's finally go to the tavern.
The Nine Worlds is a no-weapon zone, strictly enforced since the riots.
So you want me to disarm in the middle of a war zone?
No, you've just got to consent to the standard deactivation procedure before entry. I'll transmit the encrypted safety lock bytecode, which will effectively freeze all your weapons. Sensors at the exit will automatically reactivate everything you're carrying when you leave.
I don't think there's actually a difference. Like, from a technical standpoint, it's still, you're still disarming yourself. It's just a different excuse me, just a different method of doing that.
Here you go.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on in.
Ah, okay, so that's the the establishment where the Omar are at. Unfortunately, I don't really know what it says. I only know that Rabe is a German name for raven, but I don't know this word, so let's listen to the local news.
Time again for a dark bullet. In the bullseye today, Chairman Dumier of the WTO. Welcome, Chairman. I admire what you've done for the world community. Hi, Brent. You've proven once and for all that a sound economic infrastructure establishes confidence, trust, and a good life for everyone. Why demean yourself by negotiating with a religious cult? Well, Her Holiness is a woman who... I'm embarrassed for you, Chairman. Seriously, you're kneeling before con artists. I'm turning red. Look at me. I'm turning red just thinking about it. I'm a diplomat, Brent. Her Holiness and I... Take my advice and call the whole thing off. Encourage them and you just make the church into a bigger problem. Mark my words. I'm afraid that's all the time we have. A pleasure as always. This has been another Talk Bullet.
I'm glad to hear that the Talk Bullet talk show has kept up its crappy production value from the first time I listened to it, and the talk show host is still as obnoxious as he were before. You know, cutting the guests' words after like 3 seconds every time. Okay, so those are the Omar. They do look kind of foreboding and ominous, especially in this dark lighting. Wait a second. What's up with the reflection here? I don't think it's one of them. Interesting. So maybe this.
You manage your behavior wisely.
Maybe this was an antique shop before, because here was a guide on buying antiques. And also caring for, you know, collectors' items. Wait a second. I think Jacob's Shadow was actually a book in the first Deus Ex as well. I just want to check what was casting this shadow. It had me interested. I don't recognize this name from the first game, but obviously it's been a very long time since I played it, and if it was a minor character, then I would obviously don't remember it. But I guess it's interesting again to sort of bring up the character of Dumier, because apparently there's an underground resistance towards the rule of the WTO, which is an interesting reversal of positions, because as I said, in the first game it was actually Dumier himself who was leading an underground resistance against the MD-12, and now he himself is leading a global superpower and has people you know, resisting him. Maybe it is them. But that just seems weird. Well, let's check what the Omar have to say.
I provide defense should the need arise. Traders handle the business. We are interested in business opportunities with your kind, but be warned, we will take action against those who might threaten or cheat us. Scan complete. Your systems contain impressive innovations.
Yes, it appears Queequeg has found us another customer.
Yeah, he told me where to find you.
and the Omar are grateful to you for your help in avoiding the Templar raid in Cairo.
I did what I had to do.
You will appreciate our merchandise. You are a welcome customer, having helped us in the past.
What are you selling?
I have a black market biomod canister. Enables non-piezochem functionality. If you choose this item, we will direct you to a drop site for it after you have paid. Or you could take 3 scrambler grenades which produce viral electronic transmission that affect bots and temporarily switches their alliances. And I also have 5 multi-tools used to bypass security devices like keypads, cameras and turrets, and to pick locks. As a preferred customer, you may purchase items at half market price.
Okay, as I already mentioned, it's kind of sad that at this point the biomod canister, which should be the most looked after and the most coveted item in the game, is literally useless for me. So I think I'm going to take the multi-tools, especially because 5 of them for only 200 credits seems like a very good deal.
I'll take the multi-tools.
An excellent exchange.
Okay, so let's go into the tavern proper. For the mare and novit, not quite sure what that means. Mare is sea, and non-novit will be like nothing new. Not sure what that says, so I think I'm going to look it up and put it in the description. But I guess the sea would be would be on the right track, because the coat of arms itself sort of resembles the sea. You know, the waves. Maybe nothing new on the seas? Well, I'll look it up and put it in the description. Although I'm actually kind of embarrassed, because I did learn Latin in high school for 3 years, so I should be able to manage, you know, simple one-sentence phrases like that, but it has been years since I actually used any of it. And you don't really have much opportunity to, because obviously it's a dead language.
May Her Holiness watch over you.
It's actually quite a cozy establishment here, with the fireplace and all that.
Alex D, a welcome encounter.
How's the search coming?
I've made some discoveries. I think that you've brought me to the right place.
What's the passenger's name?
My instructions forbid me to say.
Maybe I could help if I knew who it was.
You've been very helpful already. My computer analyzed the transceiver in your temporal bone and found some interesting data files.
Those are encrypted files.
I found the key some time ago. I will be using your eyes and ears to gather more data. As compensation, if you need a pilot for any reason, I will be available.
Okay, that's actually quite creepy, and I feel violated by what she did. She basically hacked my brain without my knowledge, let alone my permission.
I don't like being spied on.
Your notions of privacy are old-fashioned. It was a love of privacy that brought on the collapse. A love of secrets, plans, and personal possessions.
I still don't like being spied on.
Perhaps I'm too aggressive, but a society in which everyone understands everyone else is something I think we all should strive for.
How about I bug your chopper and make this learning process go both ways?
Very soon we will be connected. A great advance will change what it means to be human, and there will be no further need to conceal information. But that world is not yet here.
Well, actually, I think she kind of manipulated the truth there, because if anything, the collapse was brought on by Bob Page's insane idea to control all of the information and all of the communication of the world, because that was the main reason why Tracer Tong wanted JC to destroy the Aquinas hub, because it was basically too powerful to be left in use. It allowed its users to have too great of a control over all of the world's communication. So it was basically the opposite of what she said. That's an interesting piece of art. Or a piece of ass, even. Who's that? Oh, wait. That's Tracer Tong. I totally didn't recognize him at first. I think this book about the war between India and Pakistan was also is also directly copied from the first game. Yeah, I do remember this book, especially the title, and it talking about nuclear war between India and Pakistan. So I think it's directly copied from the first game, which it also makes it kind of doubly sad, because one, it's directly repurposed material, but on the other hand, it's also longer than most of the books in this one. So it's kind of a sad reflection on the state of things. Well, let's talk with him.
Alex D, you're the last one to arrive. I suppose that, like the others, you're after my laboratory in the gateway to J.C. Denton.
You're Tracer Tong.
I see that Dr. Nassif didn't exaggerate about your mental acuity. Yes, I'm Tong. I suppose you will be wanting some answers. You may have already guessed that your true name is Alex Denton.
Dr. Nassif was telling the truth. I'm a clone of J.C. Denton.
With a few postnatal recombinations, yes. But our work has moved away from clones.
So this gateway, I can use it to find J.C. Denton?
Yes. Beneath the ruins of the Black Gate, J.C. constructed a portal to his secret base in Antarctica. Only descendants of the Denton cell line can go through. However, the facility is already in the hands of the Templars.
Did the Templars use the portal? How could they unless one of the other trainees...
Unless the Templars have already convinced one of you to go through the gate and murder J.C. Exactly. At a minimum, they have a highly placed spy who has torn apart our organization, starting with Chicago.
What else do you know about this spy?
Whoever it is also helped the Templars kidnap Her Holiness during a meeting with the Panzerworks Union. They are holding her at the Blackgate Laboratory. I'm going to give you a code to a secret entrance, which is in a room on the second floor of the East Tower, 2521. Look for a keypad hidden behind some crates.
For all you know, I'm a Templar myself.
Then Apostle Corps has already lost everything. Rescue Her Holiness. Save the summit for the sake of both factions. They will help you against the Templars. You will need the help of the WTO in order just a little while longer.
I understand.
Here's something to give you an edge. A biomod infusion. It isn't much, but it's all I managed to grab on my way out of the laboratory.
And it's useless for me.
The time is coming when you will have to choose sides, Alex. Be careful of the other trainees. They won't necessarily see things the way you do. All of our secrets are contained in the cells of your body, but no one will be able to make use of them without JC's help. During the collapse, JC had little choice other than exile. The merger with the Helios AI was unstable. He needed a safe place to retire, where we developed a more compatible biomod architecture. I'm curious about what you will find in the laboratory. Perhaps Her Holiness has learned something about the Templar plans. I'm curious about what you will find in the laboratory. Perhaps Her Holiness has learned something about the Templar plans.
Okay, so a couple of interesting things. First of all, was it implied that all of the other prominent recruits from Tarsus are also clones of JC? Because he said that only people genetically related to JC can use the portal, but like, if I'm the only one, then why would the Templars even seize it if they had no chance at all of ever using it? But one more, even more interesting and important thing is that Tracer Tong actually mentioned Helios and JC merging with it, so I guess that would mean like that they combined the Dark Age ending with the Helios merger ending to create this sort of fusion of them both. So I'm curious to learn more about that, and I am very much keen on meeting JC again, because despite of all of his edgelordness and his exaggerated, strange voice acting, he was a much more interesting character to me than Alex ever was in this game. So I hope they have the same voice actor for him. That's NG again.
Noah Guevara has been in my family for 3 generations. I've been locking up since I was a boy.
I told you, those weapon mods are stolen. They don't belong in a display case on the side of the road.
The last place the sorties will look is the Noah Guevara shop. I am a respected businessman.
I'll just be glad when we can make the drop for the Omar.
You must be in town for the summit.
We're having a private conversation.
I have lived here all my life. Trier has seen a lot of history, but nothing like this.
Hey, back off.
So apparently they want to sell the weapon mods from the shop to the Omar, but I don't think I'm going to do that. In part because I don't want to steal, but in part also because at this point I don't particularly care for money. Like, I literally have a biomod that I can't use. And it's going to sit there and annoy me until the end of the game. Oh, I guess it won't because it disappeared, at least from here. I guess it's just a jukebox edition of the NG bot.
A member of the Order. Are you at the summit?
Certainly not. I live here in Trier. Seekers here don't care very much for this notion of a summit.
Why not?
We have heard Luminan Saman's call for a return to scripture. In this shard, we read the scripture, the original word of Her Holiness, not what she says for the camera today or tomorrow or 2 weeks ago.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? That's exactly the attitude that opens the door to tyranny in a free state, remembering only what was said on the last talk show. What's the value of a free press when attention spans are so short?
I was just curious about the summit. Sorry to interrupt.
Her Holiness and Chairman Dumier are making a business deal. It may bring money, it may bring power, but it won't bring balance into the lives of ordinary people. If Her Holiness thinks she can put us all into a great pre-collapse wealth-making machine, she must think she's a god. Saman understands that the human body is no machine. The lesson of the collapse is that we need to learn to live as human beings. An economic system designed for millions of people soon begins to live for its own sake. Social machinery is no less harmful to the human organism than biomodification, cybernetics, nanite plagues, and the other modern evils rightfully denounced by Luminan Saman. Enough talk. It only makes me angry.
Okay. Oh, that's Sid.
How'd you end up in Trier?
This way and that. Thought I could catch some business when the summit breaks up. Seen the sights yet? Don't mind doing local hops in between stock beer.
How much?
Any hops during the next 24 hours, just 50% more than the going rate for one hop. You can't beat that in this market.
I'll let you know.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with Ava because I'm too poor to afford the other guy.
Welcome. Just don't make any speeches. Ever since this strike at Panzerwerks, people have been treating my business as their own private amphitheater. A lot of pretty phrases flying around, but it's all about one thing: money. The hypocrisy is suffocating. The rich drone on about opportunity and growth. The poor pod little scraps of propaganda. In most order, balance.
My mind
cheetah,
opens
cheetah,
more each
cheetah.
day
What
to
a
the true
farce. Everybody just wants an easy life. Who can argue with that? This summit is just a giant photo op for certain personalities. Strangers welcome. Just don't make any speeches.
Okay. More graffiti of some sorts, but unfortunately I can't really read that. Probably couldn't even without the light flickering, but... Okay, so I think I'm ready to
All of our secrets
leave.
are contained in the cells of your body, but no one will be able to make use of them without JC's help.
And I think I'm actually ready to go into the black gates.
Chairman Dumier of the WTO here. So you found that old fool Tracer Tong. I would like to know what you were talking about. Please report to the Trier SSC station.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure how much do I want to tell him. But I will talk to him. If only to get more information. I wonder if still can talk with Saman here.
I talked to Tracer Tong. He says that Her Holiness is being held by the Templars.
Interesting. Is he sure? We've noticed some Templar activity on the north side of town.
The Apostle Core laboratory is underneath the Black Gate. That's where she's being held.
I'm glad you are willing to betray Tong's confidence.
He said I should get your help. Perhaps we all have a common enemy now.
Not likely. Tong always has an ulterior motive, at least where I am concerned. You have my authority to attempt a rescue, but stay away from that old fool. He will lure you into the criminal underworld.
I'll keep that in mind.
Here's a key to the gate in the courtyard. Like I said, the facility is on the north side of the city. If anything happens to Her Holiness, I don't want to imagine what will become of the older church.
Well, so I have like two possible way of entrance. First is to just go through the SSC checkpoint and present my my pass that I just got from Dumier, but there is also a way through the sewers. Interesting, and possibly also more fitting towards my playstyle, which is more non-lethal. I would assume going through the sewers would be more of a secretive thing. Yeah, because I can go through here, but I can also... Wait. I think I'm kind of lost again. I'm remarkably bad at directions. It was like a big... right over here. Apparently it hurts me when I get close. But either way, I think this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it here. See you in the next one. Bye.